Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another exciting edition of your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria. Have we woken you up yet? Or are you still stretching in bed? Well. If you are, we are here to bring you your regular sunshine. Well, it didn't rain last night, but we're still here to bring you all that sunshine and make sure you have a fabulous day ahead. How are you doing, guys? Let us know. Let's get those conversations coming. Do not forget to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC when sending in your comments. And remember that you can reach us on all our socials at TVC Entertainment _. My name is Emil Koche, and I am your, let's say your partner today, right? Are we ready, guys? Let's do this. Okay, guys, so we have quite a lot of things happening on the show later on today, but we will start off with nutrition. You know, every Wednesdays we bring you our nutrition segments, and on nutrition today we will be discussing the sedentary lifestyle, various foods that we should look out for, that pose some danger risk. And later on relationships, we discuss the bouquet of marriage issues. You know, as always, we have our relationship experts. They come in to enlighten us on some of these topics. So guys, sit tight. And for a musical performance later on, we have Ola Experience. He'll be here to serenade us into the day. Finally, joining us on the couch, we have model actor Femi Adekanye. He'll be joining us to share his journey with us on the show.
All right, then, we're staying with so much happening right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Good morning, everyone. My name is Titilayo Onyison. It's time for a news update. Thanks for joining us. And we're staying with the development at the National Assembly, where the Nigerian Senate has set up an ad hoc committee to urgently investigate the factors impeding the completion of the $18.5 billion Centenary City project in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The ad hoc committee, led by the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Jubril Barau, alongside 6 other members, have been given 4 weeks to uncover the cause of delay on the stalled project that commenced in 2014. National Assembly correspondent Tijesu Adeoye reports.
The Abuja Centenary Economic City project, which commenced in 2014 through a public-private partnership, was designed to serve as a potential economic hub to commemorate 100 years of Nigeria's amalgamation. But the development of the city project suffered a setback for almost a decade, with an estimate of less than 7% of road construction and other critical infrastructure still uncompleted. The Senate's decision to wait may be the silver lining for a project that is almost abandoned and forgotten. The 7-member ad hoc committee, to be led by the Deputy President of the Senate, will interface with the federal government to unravel the factors hindering the development of the project and hopefully facilitate the smooth and expeditious completion of the project.
Recognizing that reviving and completing Abuja Centenary City project will have immense benefits for Nigeria, including job creation, elevating Nigerian profile as an attractive investment destination for foreign investment, tourism and events, and overall national development.
We hereby set up the ad hoc committee because of the seriousness of this project. We have a 7-man committee to look into the issue. The Senior Senator Barau Jibrin, Deputy Senate President, will be the chairman of that committee.
The ad hoc committee is expected to revert to the Senate with its findings in 4 weeks. Also, in another development, some lawmakers are still experiencing some inconvenience in the newly renovated chamber. The chief whip of the Senate called the attention of the President of the Senate on the need to improve on the sound output from the chamber as well as seating arrangements. The president of the Senate, in his response to the Senate's whip, pointed out that a renovation of the National Assembly complex is the project of the Federal Capital Developmental Authority, but assured that it is still work in progress. Tijesu Adeoye, TV's News, Abuja.
Now, Donald Trump's hush money trial continues in New York with the third week of witness testimony. Stormy Daniels, the adult film star at the center of the trial, describes meeting Trump at a golf tournament as lawyers duel over questions about an alleged sexual encounter between the two. The first witness of the day was Sally Franklin, who worked with Penguin Random House, which published several of Mr. Trump's books, including How to Get Rich. The historic New York trial revolves around a 2016 hush money payment Mr. Trump made to porn star Stormy Daniels, who says she had sex with him. Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records to conceal the payment and denies any sexual encounter with Daniels. Jurors have so far heard from a series of characters who orbited around him during his 2016 presidential campaign, and prosecutors estimated on Monday that they would need 2 more weeks to conclude their case. And that's all we have time for on news and sports for this hour. There's still quite a bit more coming your way right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Welcome back. It's time for What's Up and About. Hey, Winnie.
Hi.
How's my princess doing?
Very well, thank you.
So it's a Wednesday once again, and the Wonder Women are right here on Wake Up Nigeria with you. And oftentimes we find these topics, and we're on the fence, but this one I'm really emphatic about. It has to do with sibling rivalry. It was actually Winfrey that gave us a spotlight on this one. And it talks about a particular lady who says she has some resentment for her sibling, her sister, her younger sister. And she says they're not close, they're not even sisterly. And she's not sure where it all started, but then she begins to give us instances where she believes the resentment began. For instance, she remembers when, she was accused of, physically hitting her sister when she was actually just sitting and watching TV. Why? Because the sister just started screaming and yelling one particular day, and the parents came downstairs and started beating her. Oh, this was actually a second beating on top of one beating they had already given her because of her sister. And I know that these kinds of things happen between siblings. It's, in my opinion, sometimes a normal thing where parents might just get it wrong and just think, one particular sibling is to blame for, spoiling that chair or breaking that mug or whatever. But it feels like this issue of resentment isn't being managed properly by parents. But I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this issue. Wow, that sigh was a bit deep.
So she used the word resentments.
Yeah.
That's a very strong word.
Yeah.
It's more or less saying you hate your sister. And there's only one thing that could have spoiled this.
Yeah.
Which is parents' favoritism. The parents obviously had a favorite, probably her younger sister.
Yeah.
Probably her, she may never know, because that was how she didn't see her parents' action towards her as love.
Of course not.
She saw it as, let's not also forget that we mostly experience tough love from our parents. We mostly experience tough love from our parents, and she may not have seen, her parents' actions,
as love.
Or, however they catered to her as love. And maybe they were a little more softer and more affectionate
to the younger
one.
Which is sort of the norm in many cases.
In a lot of cases, to be honest. And even as parents, sometimes we find it difficult to sort of draw that balance, because we feel that as the older one, you should be more responsible.
Or mature.
More you should know to do better.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because we are teaching you to do better. And with those same values that we are instilling in you, we expect you to pass them on to your sister. So we expect you to be the sponge that soaks it all in.
All the pain and all the anger.
And everything that your sister does to you, that even your parents do to you that you're not happy about, you soak it all in, you take it all in. And I see where her resentment could be coming from.
Yeah.
But
So
bringing it to
before I throw it to Winnie here, I wanted to touch on this. There was a particular Christmas where apparently her sibling lied that she hit her with a side stool and pretended to faint. When her parents got back that day, her mother cut her hair and she was bald for Christmas, right? So I'm hearing silence, I'm hearing crickets now, Do you understand how deep this resentment is going, Winnie?
So as much as, we would like to blame the parents and say, oh, okay, fine, the parents sometimes show favoritism, right? To be honest, I'm of the opinion that, I know, fine, they say generally, parents should not pick sides. Parents should love all their kids equally. But to be honest, is it really possible? Is it really possible? For instance, my parents now, they had 5 children. Of course, you love your kids, but there's some you literally see more traits probably of your spouse in, or you see more traits of yourself in. So is it really, if we're being practical, we're being honest, it's fine. You shouldn't show it in an excessive way. Do you understand? But we all know that certain things, and somehow it will show. Do you get? But then again, that aside, I see this case as a situation where the sister was being continuously mischievous.
Yeah.
Right? And then not even only, as a child, that's quite deep, right? You are fainting because you're literally lying. She lied on her consistently, that she did different things to her. Her parents were literally, and she had a grin on her face. Do you understand? Whenever they punished her for it. So even growing up, do you understand? This is like, she doesn't like people touching her things and using her things and things like that. And then she asks for it and she tells her no, but she still goes ahead to do what she says she doesn't want her to do. So I just see this as a case of like personality. Fine, no matter, you can't control how your parents react. Yes, the parents added to it, of course, for literally not probably applying enough wisdom and all of that to be able to settle things amicably and all of that. But then again, we see the sister being continuously mischievous. Now, I think what's very important is her literally speaking up about it because she's literally asking, she's like, okay, fine, she really doesn't care if it's just blood that connects them. She actually has no interest in being cordial and all of that with the sister. But then again, she just wants to know if she's wrong for holding on to these things. And then a lot of people were actually advising that, okay, you know what, that's why the fact that this happened in your childhood, you have to find a way to let it go. Even if you don't feel the need to really relate with her and all of that, let it go, forgive, and just let it, because she realized that she's constantly bitter towards her, and she has built up this resentment that literally
I feel like
I don't relate with it.
It's not just bitterness to the sister at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the bitterness literally is towards the parents.
Her parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think she needs to have a conversation with her parents.
You know what's
Because
even
this
gonna
is
happen.
what
But she said that she feels that will literally be a dead end because normally in their family they're not used to having these conversations.
Send write a letter.
So the truth
This
is,
information needs to get to them. They need to understand that darling little angel you thought was the younger sibling was not actually doing that.
so that's where you guys are actually getting it wrong, because there's a possibility that the parents, some of our parents actually see us clearly.
Wow.
And they treat us according to, because they may not do it the right way. They may do it the way they understand how to do it because they feel that it is good for you. But on the other hand, it may not be good for you. It's possible that they knew that if they do not indulge and sort of protect this young little sister of hers, she could become a real daredevil.
This girl literally lied that the money she gave her elder sister to hold for her, she has nothing to do with it. And they literally beat her and punished her for stealing the money. That is not a situation of, how will you overindulge your younger child because you feel...
So now the parenting strategies on this particular set of parents was off from the very beginning.
From the very beginning.
But it is probably what the average Nigerian parents are actually,
are
doing
based on how they know how to do it best. And I'm going to say that, so I experienced this with my younger sister.
Okay.
I didn't like her growing as kids, right? Because, she was, at the time, she was the last born, and then, so much expected of me as the firstborn, right? So I had to, pamper her, I had to indulge her.
Yeah.
And the little devil was a devil.
Wow.
You get,
Yeah.
you get. And she would, you know, she'd be mischievous. She would do certain things, right, to always tick me off. And I always get into trouble because I'm supposed to be responsible for her.
Yeah.
But over the years, I realized that maybe from a place of, you know, enlightenment, from a place of awareness, I know better that, oh, okay, that was just her as a child.
Okay.
That emotion, I had to consciously,
Yeah.
you know, work on it.
But was
so
she
that
ever
it
cautioned?
doesn't-
Was she ever cautioned by
Oh.
your parents? Did your parents actually ever see the truth in what this sibling was doing? So that's why I'm saying I feel like these parents are still completely ignorant of everything that was happening. They still think of this child as the angel, the one that will rescue them.
So,
that will bring them out of poverty.
so recently, right?
I'm
So
just
seriously,
saying things
so
I really don't
recently,
think
right? I had
the
my
obedience of it.
sister-in-law
I feel like
and her
they didn't-
kids
No.
stay
I
with
don't
me,
think
right?
they did.
And something that kept on happening was, okay, we saw the elder child snitching on the younger,
Yeah,
younger girl. So most time it's a boy and girl situation. So most time the boy is calmer than the girl. The girl is more erratic and expressive and all of that. But then again, when things like that happen, we literally told them, you guys are meant to have each other's back.
Yeah.
You are not meant to be snitching on your younger sister.
Yeah,
Do you understand? If she does something, you guys are literally meant to have that bond that literally the
sort it
parents that cannot even break. So, so I feel it's still the responsibility of the parent to literally show them that, see, you are not against yourselves, you are together.
You're a
And I
team.
can actually talk from this perspective because I was the last of 5 children.
Wow.
My immediate elder one literally is over me with 7 years. Do you understand? So this was a situation of, and like they used to cover me.
Wow.
Like I used to be covered. However, would I say it has literally caused some gap between me and some of my siblings? Yes, and I'm fine with it.
Oh,
But then
okay.
again, something I know they didn't do is indulge me into misbehaving because, oh yes, I was the younger one.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So at the end of this conversation, the onus falls on the parents to, you know, try not to, yes, to be honest, some children make it difficult to love them. Let's not even take that.
Some
We
siblings
know.
make it difficult
Some
to
to
love
love
them.
them,
Yes.
right. But we have to, it's dependent on us to do what we can to ensure that there's no sort of sibling rivalry. You know, let's, all that favoritism, yeah, show it, but, you know, let's do
At
it
this
with
point, what I would like
caution.
for her to do, if she's watching this,
Yeah.
is find a place of calm and find a way to let it go, because it is the person that hates that hurts. And right now she's the one hurting, but she needs to find peace within herself that she didn't do anything wrong.
conscious effort.
And see if you can have that conversation with your parents.
yeah.
At this point, we would love to hear your thoughts as well.
Yeah.
Please reach out to us. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and tag us, WakeUpNigeria TVCE on Instagram. We can't wait to see the comments. Stay with us. Loads more coming your way.
welcome into the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen, guys. Good morning on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning. I have with me our chef, Chef Ariola. How are you doing today, Chef?
I'm good.
All
Good
right,
morning.
and we're ready. I'm good, thank you. And tell me, what are we making today?
So we're making a panini,
Panini. Okay. What do we need to make panini?
well, our bread, and so for the filling, I'm doing chicken, tomatoes, avocado, and apple.
Okay, so panini is basically what, a sandwich?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, same
Okay, we
mold.
call it a sandwich.
Yeah.
All right. So let's explain to me what's the process for making panini.
Basically, toast our bread, and we make our filling. So I'm doing a mixture of an avocado sauce on the bread,
Oh, okay. Tell me,
fresh
what's the feeling?
apples.
What's the feeling?
So I just cut open the avocado, get the fleshy part, mix it together, add a bit of oil, then it goes on the bread.
Okay.
Then I make a bit of fresh tomato sauce, fresh apples, cover it up. Chicken
So the
a
fresh
bit.
tomato sauce, how do you mean? Are you gonna?
Yeah, just lightly season, just to. We need to extract some of the juices.
juice,
Not everybody likes to eat fresh tomatoes raw. You know,
So we'll be frying the tomatoes.
Yeah, just
We're
like
gonna add onions and all of that. or
No, just tomatoes.
Just tomatoes,
Just
a little bit of
tomatoes, yes.
seasoning. So we're gonna put that on top of the
bread on top of the sauce.
Of the
We add
sauce.
fresh apples and some grilled chicken.
fresh apples too with
Yeah,
bread.
fresh
I've
apple,
never
yeah.
tried that before.
Fresh
Okay, and we're not mixing all of this together.
No, we're not mixing together.
It's
They
going
just
to be
go
layer
layers,
after
yeah.
layer. Okay, that
Exactly.
actually seems very interesting. Is there any other ingredients that we don't have right here that we're going to be using?
Yeah, just a little bit of a surprise.
A little bit of
I love doing that.
The idea is for us to extract this recipe from you. So if you hide your ingredients, how are we going to make this at home?
Well, as we proceed.
As we proceed. All right, amazing. So I noticed that we don't actually have a toaster right here. So what is going to be our option
Yeah,
for
so-
toasting?
Pan.
So pan, we're going to be
Yeah.
pan toast.
So in case you don't have a toaster,
Yes.
so you can always do it on stovetop.
Stovetop pan. So and that's simple. That's just slicing the bread.
Slicing the bread, just a little bit of oil,
Yes. Okay, we're going
heat
to
up
use
the
oil.
pan, yeah.
A little bit of oil, or can we use butter?
of course,
Okay, yeah. So butter or
oil.
oil to just heat up the pan.
And you could just use the hot pan.
Hot-
Probably if you have a, what's it called now, cast iron.
Cast iron.
Yeah.
Okay. Just hot pan,
Just
and that's
hot pan,
good.
yeah.
All right. Amazing. So our chicken. Tell me about this chicken now. It looks it's already been processed.
Yeah, I
So
just
tell me.
seasoned it with cumin, coriander, salt.
Okay, seasoned cumin, coriander, salt, and it was been boiled,
Boiled, yes.
right? Boiled.
So
Amazing.
I
I'm
just
going to
shred.
frying this
No, I'm just going to shred.
Shred it?
Do the same process I'm doing for the bread with the chicken.
as
yeah.
well. So pan fry it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, and then put it on.
bread.
Oh, amazing. All right. So now we're literally going to allow our chef get into all of this. Actually seems like a nice and beautiful breakfast. Simple, straightforward,
simple,
nothing confusing. And in no time at all, our panini will be ready. But right now we have paper review on the couch. So yeah, let's check that out.
It's time for us to take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the dailies this morning. Myself and MM are going to be doing this justice. All right, we're starting with the cover of the Guardian newspaper. Today is Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. Federal government shuns financial inclusion, imposes more taxes on citizens' depositors. Page 6 has more on that. It says here in the infographic, it talks about the hardware token, the Naira debit card replacement fee, the foreign currency debit and credit cards fee, the individual cash deposit above limit fee, stamp duty, statement of account charges, SMS charges, corporate cash deposits above 3% limit. And apparently, according to this infographic, it says the value of the economic payments in the past 8 years, as at 2023, is about 600 trillion naira. Now, that just gives you a visual of everything. And then to top it off, there is the cybersecurity levy that has just been announced, which is 0.5%. Now, we went a bit further to check out what that means. So according to StatiSense here, it says the levy, if you make an electronic transfer of 1,000 naira, you pay 5 naira. On 10,000 naira, you pay 50 naira. 100,000 naira, you pay 500 naira. And
Okay.
1 million naira is at 5,000 naira. That's the 0.5% levy.
Yeah. So this directive was issued on Monday, you know, to all commercial merchants, non-interest and payment service banks, as well as mobile money operators. And so the CBN said that this policy, of course, will take effect in 2 weeks. And so this is described as the cybersecurity levy. And of course, this is going to reflect on all electronic charges, on all electronic transactions. Right. There are a few exceptions too. But here is why this deduction is happening. And this is, of course, sequel to the enactment of the Cybercrime Prohibition Prevention Amendment Act of 2024. I mean, this was released earlier in this year. And of course, these monies will be remitted to the National Cybersecurity Fund, which of course will be in charge, which the NSC will be in charge of. And well, this has received a lot of backlash from Nigerians. There's a lot of unpleasantness. Nigerians are not happy about it, and they're saying there are too many charges. Too many charges. But then I was having a conversation with my husband yesterday about this, and he was saying to me that the truth is, compared to other countries, I think we're even a little fairer. We're more, Nigeria is fair when it comes to taxes. The amount of taxes that that's being given to us, right, compared to other countries. So yes, is it uncomfortable? Yes, it is. But if you're to compare to other countries, it's nothing.
So my issue is with issues of cybersecurity. We heard just was it on the weekend a major actress lost almost all her money.
Yes.
Her whole, I think about 3 million naira was taken from her account.
3.6 million actually.
So now my issue is, after paying this levy of 0.5%, are they saying
that there will be no issues of cyber fraud in that regard?
I need to have some more assurances on this. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, so let's move on to other papers. We have other papers to cover here. So let's see what we have on the Punch newspaper. Of course, on dollar speculation, federal government rubbishes Binance CEO's bribery allegation. On the rider here, Binance CEO allegation diversionary, no going back on trial, government officials declare. And at the bottom of the paper here, still on cybersecurity levy will worsen hardship, says Labour. And on bullying, police launch probe as Ekiti Vasti expels female students. And Ladoja withdraws lawsuit, clears path for Olubadan enthronement. And here is a picture story of Trump. So yesterday there was the porn star testified against Trump at the hush money trial. Of course, that trial has been ongoing for a while now. So, Titi, you want to take the Vanguard newspaper quickly?
Okay, let's see what we have on the cover of the Vanguard here. It says here, oil block, federal government removes signature bonus to woo investors. Signature bonus highest in Nigeria, says Lokobiri, adds oil well will remain relevant to Nigeria's economy. In the photo story there, it says the First Lady receives first Nigerian female Sandhurst graduate. At the top, it says here, UBA records 110% rise in gross earnings as at 570 billion naira. It says here, impeach Fubara now. Rivers APC urges 27 assembly members. And it says here, controversy trails, of course, CBN cybersecurity levy on electronic transactions.
Yeah, so and finally we'll take one more newspaper, and that's the Daily Trust. Making the headlines here, still on the cybersecurity levy. NLC CSOs rejects cybersecurity levy. SIRAP threatens to sue federal government. And it's saying here it's additional burden on Nigerians, says experts. And here at the corner of the paper, we have 11 months after federal government yet to reconstitute Vasti Governing Councils. And despite 30 billion naira renovation, Senate chamber lacks voting devices. And that's from Undume. And finally, Tinubu's first year in office, propelling Nigeria towards renewal. You can find more of that story on page 16 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And that's all we can take on the newspaper headlines this morning. The show continues shortly. Stay with us. It is said that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Ever heard of that saying? Right, well, that's because we have apples right here with us in the studio. But hey, we have with us our nutrition expert, Adironke Olusheye, also known as Dibia. She holds certifications as a certified holistic nutritionist, nutrition and health coach, holistic health practitioner, naturopath, nutrition scientist, and aromatherapist. And this morning, she'll be talking to us about sedentary lifestyles. What are the foods that you can take that could either make or mar your sedentary lifestyle, right?
Yes.
Great. Welcome to the show once
Good morning.
again. Good
Thank you for
morning.
having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Always looking fabulous, by the way. Okay, so first off, let's establish what a sedentary lifestyle is for someone watching right now who doesn't understand what a sedentary lifestyle is.
All right, so basically, a sedentary lifestyle is a lifestyle that keeps you seated for 6 hours or more during the course of your day without you moving around, exercising, or engaging in one type of movement or another. So basically, that's what a sedentary lifestyle is. And we get to see that in people that, you know, if your job entails you sitting down in one place for a long period of time, like people that work in the offices or people that work remotely at home, right? You know, after COVID, a lot of people, or during and after COVID, a lot of people have had to work more from home. And while that is good, if we are not careful, that can lead to chronic diseases if we don't know how to manage it very well. So it's very important that we move as human beings. Like I tell people, even the trees move. Their roots, I mean, their trunks may not be moving, but you see their leaves. So as a living being, movement is very, very, very important.
You know, sometimes even while I'm sitting down in front of a system for hours, I'm like, well, my brain is doing a lot of activity.
Yeah.
So I think that should be enough for, you know, I think that should make up some time for the lack of body movements. Is that enough, though?
No, it's not enough. So the reason is this: your blood needs to circulate.
Okay.
Your brain activity alone will not make blood circulate all through your body. When people have stiff joints, it's because they are not moving, right? So one of the things that movement does is that it improves blood circulation. Another thing it does is that it prevents muscle loss. Now, when people lose muscle due to inactivity, what happens is that they tend, you know, they tend to just develop all sorts of body stiffness, right? And so, as simple as doing this is movement.
Okay.
Yeah, this
even
is
while sitting down on your
even
desk.
while sitting down on your desk, this is movement. My leg is. So I am seated, I'm walking, but I can still be doing something. The most important thing is that your body is moving. Even while you are seated, you can do that. If you sit in a place for a very long time, you're bent over, you're working on your laptop, after a while, you feel some aches and stiffness around your neck. As good as this is movement. This is movement. You know, I could go in a circular motion, do it clockwise, do it anti-clockwise. That is movement. You find out that if you can do this while you are seated on your desk, walking away and thinking that, oh, I don't have the time, you find out that you work the whole day and you don't feel as tired as you normally would, right? Another thing I do, especially when I'm working on my phone and I'm working at home, or even in my office, you see the center table, just walk around it. It's as simple as that, just walk around it. We don't need to go to the gym before we can exercise. A lot of us love to dance, but we don't see it as a form of exercise.
Let's talk about food.
Yes.
Because it's so easy to just stretch your hand and then you're catching on the next snack. And, you know, those calories are counting and then they're posing certain health risks.
Yes.
You know, let's talk about foods that are advisable to, you know, munch on or to chew on, you know, while you're in that sedentary position.
Okay, so let me first establish this. Whether you're eating healthy or unhealthy, and I'm going to break it down. Whether healthy or unhealthy, if you live a sedentary lifestyle, it does not take away the risk at the end of the day. However, and the reason, because you are not moving. Movement improves your metabolism, right? And so eating is not enough. Eating and sitting in a place is not enough. However, when you eat processed foods, it gets you there faster. I'm saying this because you can be on a healthy lifestyle, and if you are sedentary, you'll find yourself developing chronic diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes, and the likes, right? So the only difference is that when you go on processed foods, ultra-processed foods like refined sugar, you know, refined foods and the likes, it takes you there faster. So if taking refined foods will take you there, we take you to that point, maybe in the space of 3 months. Eating healthy foods will take you there
in a month.
Maybe eating healthy food will take you there. Will take a longer time. So that's just the difference. So I tell people, eat healthy stuff, right? And eat healthy snacks, coconuts, nuts, groundnuts, cashew nuts, you know, and any other, you know, healthy snack that you can find around you. Even fruits can serve as snacks. You know, and sometimes you may even want to, like, maybe your plantain chips that you make at home, that you know what goes inside. That could be your snack. But in all of that, make sure that you are moving as you are eating. Because that's the only way you're going to burn calories. Nobody burns calories by just eating and sitting down. You must move.
Thank you so much, Adironke. This was very short, but right on point. We're just giving those pointers, and I'm sure someone watching right now learned so much, and I did myself. So just those little movements actually mean a lot.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
See you again next week, shall we?
I'll be again.
And then we have to head over to the kitchen, still on nutrition. Tell us, Winfrey, what's happening?
Oh, well, a lot is happening right here. I'm still here with Chef Ariella, and we're making panini. Yes, in case you're just joining us. Chef, don't be so serious. I know you're cooking, but at the same time, tell us, so how far have we gone with our panini preparation?
All right, so like you mentioned earlier, so I added peppers, a bit of salt,
Okay.
oil, and mayonnaise
Okay.
to the avocado pie.
Okay.
So that's what goes on the bread. So we are toasting our bread at the moment. So after that, the tomato sauce, quickly made, that also goes then.
Okay.
We round off with the chicken,
With the chicken
and the apple.
And the apple. Okay, amazing. Pretty nice and straightforward. No too much complications, right? And how's that toasting coming along? It's coming along nicely?
Yeah, nicely, slowly though.
Yeah,
but
slowly
it's
but
coming
surely.
along, yeah.
Okay, nice. And so you said slowly. Do we need to toast the bread on low heat or high heat?
Medium.
Medium heat,
Fair,
nothing,
yeah,
okay,
nothing too much,
scary.
yeah.
Okay, so now we're slicing our tomato, and then that's going to go in the pan
Yeah, in the
of
pan,
oil.
yeah.
All right, and then just the tomato.
Just the tomatoes,
Okay.
oil. So
In the oil.
you can choose any seasoning you like.
All right.
So probably if you get something like maybe a bit of rosemary,
Okay.
that will do.
Okay,
So
just
in
to
place
give
of
it some
rosemary, you can do
flavor.
thyme.
Okay. Okay.
Just
Put time
flavor
in
the
place of-
tomatoes. Yeah, because
alright.
I mean, when you bite, you need to enjoy
Yeah,
every
enjoy the
flavor that comes
flavor
with.
and all of
Exactly.
that. I can literally imagine what that's going to feel like. So now, for people like me that are not so great with avocados, what would you advise?
All right. So in place of avocado, you can do cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah, you can do cheese.
Okay. Cheese. What type of cheese? Because, I mean,
Yeah, Parmesan preferably.
okay,
yeah, Parmesan
cheese.
preferably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I
But
think
you
that would
know,
be really nice.
It's just that the avocado is a much more
It's a much
cheaper
more
option.
cheaper and healthier option, right? But I don't know what happens to my palate. I just can't. Avocado doesn't stay. It doesn't go down. And I don't know why. But then again, maybe the taste of tomato is going to overshadow it and it's going to actually be.
So what you can do is you can just do a bit of avocado, probably more mayo, and so if you're someone that likes fruit,
Yes.
you can do more apples on
apple.
top.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Okay, so just regulate.
yeah, just regulate depending
Alright.
on what you like.
Okay, amazing. In case you're just joining us, we are making panini with Chef Ariella, and on the screen we have the ingredients for you. Very simple, very straightforward. We have grilled chicken, right? In this case, ours is steamed. We have apple, we have avocado, we have fresh tomatoes, and of course we have bread, because bread is very important. I think bread is the main guy here.
Yeah.
And and of course we have some tomatoes as well, and yeah, that's basically it, and some apples. Okay, nice. And of course, yeah. So I was asking you earlier about, what you do. You said you train and help set up restaurants. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so basically transition to culinary consulting.
Okay.
Yeah, so just set up a small practice for myself, help people set up restaurants, manage their kitchen professionally, and also train.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All right, amazing. So if you want to do any of that, Chef Ariella is right here for you. But right now, it is the top of the hour, and we definitely have to do this all over from the top just for you. Do stay with us. We will be right back.
And welcome to the second hour of the Wake Up Nigeria show. Your dynamic trio is still here, still looking around, some in the kitchen and somewhere around. But hey guys, as always, we are your everyday starter pack. So we need you to take us with you wherever you go. Remember guys that we are still live on GoTV, channel 16 and UHF 49. And you could always use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC when sending those comments, guys. We want to hear from you. My name is Emeo Koche, and we still have so much lined up right here on the show, guys. So come along, shall we? Let's do this. And on relationship, we have our guest, Adenrele Onikosi. He is the founder of Honegelics Consulting International Limited. And this morning on the show, he'll be talking about the bouquet of marriage issues. And for a musical performance, we have Ola Experience. He'll be here to serenade us into the day. Finally, we have Femi Adekonye. He's an actor, model, and former pro basketball player. And, well, he'll be joining us later on today to share his journey with us.
All right. It's a Wednesday morning, ladies. Wow, halfway through the week already. It does feel like there's a lot happening all over.
You see a lot happening where?
Everywhere. The news is just agog with all sorts of things. But something that keeps happening is people calling out other people on social media. Look at the lady calling out
Mr. Johnson.
No, well, funny enough, I wasn't going to touch on that. I didn't think we had enough time. Do you want to touch on that?
Oh no, to be honest, so I am right now in a mental space where I declutter. I don't focus on things that do not serve me in any way. Okay. Right. So I've been seeing it. It's been filtering into.
You're not going.
Nah, I'm like no. I'm like no.
But what I was going to venture into was the lady that was calling out the school. For sending her child home.
Her sister.
No, was her sister?
Yeah, sister.
Oh,
Home.
The energy she was giving, I thought it was
her sister. Her sister.
Wow, at 8:30.
8:30 a.m.
Wait, send the child home? Was
sister.
It's a child, right? But the issue now is 8:30 a.m. 8:30.
8:30 is late.
8:30 is late for school.
8:30 is late for school.
What time does school resume?
Also, school resumes at 8 now, but 8:30. Can't the child just serve punishment?
No, but then again, it's possible because to be honest,
what I'm saying? Like, send the child home.
We don't have the backstory. Okay, we don't know if this is a common events. If this happens, or if the child always gets to school late and they have, sent warnings, reprimanded the child, punished the child for coming late to school, but it still keeps happening.
Over, have a conversation. Phone the parents.
Like I said, it's possible that it has happened. So it is a part on social media that we see. We don't see what happens.
Send the child
behind
home.
the
Will you send me my money, the money I paid for the school fees for that day? Will you send it back to me? Which one is that one? So schools are doubling as child minding services for most parents. These parents probably needed to go to work that day, and you're sending the child home to inconvenience the parents even more.
So even aside inconvenience, I think the focus for her was the safety of the girl.
Okay.
She was like, they sent her home.
Yeah.
And even though that she was still at home and she hadn't left for work, what could have happened? By adventure, she had probably locked her door and left for school. The girl probably doesn't have a phone. She literally just sees the girl coming back home crying and was wondering, okay, what's literally happening? I think another thing that piqued my interest was the fact that she said sometimes, even when the school bus comes, the school bus gets to the school at 10 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So why would you send the child for being 30 minutes late? I don't think. Even if you come consistently, we are punished consistently.
We have a parent group, right? So I'm sure you have a parent group. A lot of, because there's a parent group for the school, and then there is one for the class as well. And I remember there was a conversation that happened on the group yesterday, and the principal was appealing to the parents that please, you parents would take your time with your words, and then thereby delaying the child, delaying other students from getting to school on time. You know very much the time the bus comes, your child should be waiting by the gate and just get into. But some parents, that's when they just go and get the bag, or better still, they're dishing the food, or better still, even waking the child up. So and then you're ending up spending 15 minutes. That 15 minutes would have taken them to school, but you have spent it waiting for just one child.
But anyways,
we get it.
In this
we
case,
get it. But security matters. Sending a child home
and I feel the aim
without supervision.
I feel the aim is defeated. Sending the child home, because the idea of sending the child coming late is that okay, maybe the child has missed a part of the school. Right. Then you now send them home. They now miss that whole day. So what is the point in education? Is that not the focus? Educate the child.
I think the policies at that particular school need to be cleared up because, first of all, I did not. You know what? I don't want to talk about money. But let's wrap it up on this. We'll hear your thoughts on it as well. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Hello and welcome back. We have a guest on the couch, and I'm really excited to start this conversation because it's going to be an interesting one. We have the real Femi Adekonye in the building. He is an actor, model, former pro basketball player, and also a cultural officer at the Lagos State Council for Arts and Culture. It's great to have you in the building.
Pleasure is all mine. Thanks for having me.
All right, so when they say basketballer, the first thing, I don't know why it just comes to my head, the first thing is you just look at your height, like, wow, okay, basketball, seriously? Talk about that transition from sports to acting. How did that happen?
I've been playing basketball for a very long time. I think I was influenced by my brothers.
Okay.
They played it professionally as well, and it was easy for me to, start at a very younger age. I followed them to the basketball courts, watched them play and all that, and it helped. So I started playing. I played in school, in university days. I played in Wapoga, Western University Games.
Wow.
I played in Nuga Games as well, and yeah. So over the years, I've played in so many competitions, and it's been a wonderful experience for me.
All right.
Yeah.
So, sport is one thing, and then it's something a lot of parents are proud of. My son is, he plays sports, either he plays football, basketball. Parents are always really proud of that. But then suddenly you now give them a call and say, Mommy, Daddy, I want to act. What happened when you decided to let them know?
My mom actually, she has been encouraging from the day one.
Okay.
Anything I tell her that I want to do, she's always in support of it.
Okay.
It was easy for her to support me in basketball because my brothers played it as well.
Yeah, sure.
And they got scholarship to, school abroad.
Wow.
So it was easy. So even because I studied theater arts in University of Ilorin, by the way.
Yeah.
And it was easy for her to support me. Because later on, she started seeing me in some short movies. And she'd be like, okay, that's my son,
All right.
So it was easy. And she has been encouraging.
All right.
Yeah.
So, but has the industry encouraged you, because there is often this stereotype of the tall, dark, handsome guy, don't worry, just give him one romance role. He'll be all right. Actors often want to spread their wings. So how has the industry been treating you?
I can't complain.
Okay.
And just like you said, there's a particular role being given to if you're tall, they feel, okay, you can play lover boy and all the stuffs. But I don't think I'm being stereotyped because I've done stage plays, I've done some short movies as well, and I've been given different roles, not just lover boy, even though they give me more of lover boy. But I've played different roles. I've played an elderly person.
Fantastic.
In fact, there's a stage play we did, that was last year. What's the name? Ladi Kwali.
Okay.
I played an old hunter, and most of my friends that were around, they could not recognize me. They didn't know that I was even the one.
Wow.
And yeah, it's easy for me to play the role that naturally I'm comfortable with. But if you give me some challenging roles as well, I can also do it. So
fantastic.
I don't think they should stereotype you because of your look. It is how you can able to deliver that matters.
So at a point, the industry has become, extremely, I'm not going to say saturated with fine boys. There are not as many roles as there are actors. And there is that competition and that, move to at least, let me just get some gig this month or next week. Has that affected how you take scripts at any point in time?
Well, there's this saying that if you're just starting, know, because I wouldn't say I'm an upcoming actor. I've been doing this for over 10 years now.
Sure.
But at the same time, I'm not known yet. So they'll tell you don't reject roles.
Okay.
Although I can't do nude, there are some particular kind of roles that I can never do.
Okay, so you tell them no.
Yes, but I don't think I've been presented with any script that will make me to say, no, I can't do this.
All right.
And because naturally, most of the productions that I've done, usually epic movies, and it promotes culture and all that, so there's no reason for me to reject it.
I was actually going to touch on that, the aspect of you working in the Council for Arts and Culture, and how that has affected your mindset about how the African culture is perceived. Can you give us a little insight into your mindset around that?
It is important that we Africans, we should not forget our roots. And part of the things that we do in arts and culture is promoting culture, promoting tourism, promoting arts in itself. And it cuts across not just the the usual form that we see. You know, it's about the diversity of arts, diversity of culture, and you can tell in my outfit as well. Like,
yeah, sure.
I wear more of native, I wear more of traditional. It's just for us promoting what we have and be proud of it. So these are the things that we do. We tend to showcase our culture in diversity and let people see that, yes, we have a lot to offer.
Now, there's a very important aspect of culture that you've decided to dive into, and that's language and taking roles in Yoruba language. I think there was one that was released not too long ago. Can you talk to us about that?
Okay. Most people know me to be in, like, I do more of English movies.
Yeah.
But over last year, I started diving into the Yoruba movies because I'm from Kwara State and I speak Yoruba to some extent. And I feel that I should be able to, you know, speak it more. And because the movie industry, that's the African Magic movie industry, they don't really do, they don't do more of Yoruba, it's English, right?
Yeah, sure.
So it's an opportunity for me to, okay, let me speak my dialect, let me be able to communicate, and it's been an amazing journey.
Fantastic.
I've done quite a couple YouTube videos, short movies.
Fantastic.
I did one, we finished that one 2 weeks ago. It's called Agreements.
Agreement.
Yeah, it's called Agreements.
Okay.
It's called, yeah, Agreements. That's the title.
So,
and I played a role of a man who needs to get married, who the mom has been pressurizing to actually get married. But I think you should just wait for it.
Don't worry, we'll wait for it to come out.
Don't let me.
The cat out of the bag, not yet. We get it. But there was one you mentioned to me earlier before we started this conversation, which had to do with a very interesting role of a man.
Okay, yes.
Okay, go ahead. Alaya
a man with many wives.
A man with many wives.
Yes.
And you thought this was a role you could take on. Okay, so you want to give us the plot?
Soon, although we've not started shooting.
Okay.
We'll start shooting next week.
Okay.
And, yeah, I'm prepared for it because it's interesting and it's fun. Just like the name implies, you can imagine the drama that comes with you having more than one wife.
Wow.
Having one woman is enough problem. Not
and that's a Yoruba movie. That's going to entail a lot of, you know, dedication to, you know, so there's some Yoruba movies where you can probably just skirt along with basic Yoruba, basic dialect, you know, the everyday Yoruba. But once you have epics, once you have stories like that, it gets a lot deeper. And it feels like there's a lot of pressure on actors to make sure that they make it authentic. What have you been doing to make sure that your performances are more authentic?
Well, you have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare your mind. If you're being given a role, if you have your script early, you study it. Because when you plan, when you prepare for something, I think it's you'll be ready for anything. So it's just all about interpretation of roles. And I think so far so good. I've been doing well, fantastically well in that by interpreting roles, because you need to, as an actor, you need to dive deeply into what that character entails. You know, like for instance, the person that has many wives, you know, you have to put yourself into that situation, that how would this person react dealing with a lot of women? You know, so yeah, it's about the character interpretation, and it's easy when you have your script, you go through your script, you learn, you dwell, it's more like you're dipping yourself, you know, strongly into the character.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like touching on something here. We've not talked about you and your love life or women at all in this whole conversation, but you've picked a role where you're going to play a man with many wives. Is it based on experience or?
No.
No, it's not?
No.
You don't have many wives somewhere in other parts of the world?
No, I don't.
Okay.
It's just, you know, I think the major reason is that you try to, you know, just like I said, if they give you a role that you should act like an Agbero, for instance.
Okay.
Right? We have, at one point in time, probably entire commercial vehicle, buses and all that. And you would have had the experience, first-hand experience. So it's easy for me to emulate that character.
Okay.
You understand? Just for that role.
Just for
it's easy for me to study someone who has more than one wife and see the behavior pattern and then, infuse it.
Okay, all right. So I can see that you don't want to talk relationships here. I'm going to dive away from that. But there is a really big movement of actors performing on YouTube videos. You've mentioned YouTube quite a bit already.
Yes.
And there are a lot of content creators going to YouTube and making a lot of money from streams. Have you found that particular aspect of the
Yes,
industry?
because most of the movies that I find myself in, even YouTube movies, short movies, being promoted on the YouTube and all that.
Yeah.
So it's something that people need to see.
Okay.
And it's also in a segment, I think AMVCA has a particular segment relating to that as well.
Okay,
because
okay.
People are making a lot of money in it. And if you want to shoot a YouTube movie, you don't have to be, you have to take your time. It's not something you rush. You see a lot of people wanting to shoot YouTube movies and they are too quick to, okay, you know what, let's just do a day and round it up. And it's not easy. I've done a YouTube movie before, and it's a short movie actually.
Yeah.
And we spent 4 days.
Okay, 4 days.
It was a rigorous period because we were shooting back to back. People would think that they are not putting a lot into these movies, but they are. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of nights.
I can imagine.
Rehearsals and all that. So it's something that needs to be promoted more.
The real Femi Adekoye here in the building with us right here on Wake Up Nigeria. You've been able to, give us a little snapshot of your world, and we appreciate you for coming to talk to us today.
Thank you for having me.
At this point, we're going to be showing some more appreciation. We want to take you to the kitchen. Our chef has been hard at work prepping a meal. Would you like to taste it?
Sure, why not?
All right, then. All right, let's head over to the kitchen, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome to the kitchen, Femi.
It's good to have you here, sir. Welcome to the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. So I have me, Chef Ariola, here.
Yeah.
It's been hard at work putting together this panini for you. And we'd like for you to try it out and let us know what you think. Now, Chef, tell us, what do we have inside?
So we've got fresh apples, a bit of tomato.
You get fresh apples in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Femi, you're about to have a treat.
Yes, all right.
Chicken, avocado mayonnaise.
Wow.
And then tomato.
Fantastic.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
So this should be a burst of flavors.
Let me have a bite.
All right.
Yes. Please do.
Okay.
Aww.
Thank you.
That was a nice one.
All right.
Nicely put together.
Thank you. Thank you. I love the idea of avocado mayonnaise. I love that idea. Sounds great.
Yeah, and it's a wrap on the show today. Thank you, Femi and Ariola, for being on the show. To all our guests, thanks for being on the show today. Till tomorrow, 7 a.m., y'all. See you then. Bye.